Hello, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. So, let us continue with chapter number 4, that is Know Your Desktop. First of all, let us study about the operating system and the concept of booting. A computer needs an operating system to run it. When we switch on the computer, it takes some time to open. Why? Because a computer has to first load the operating system, that is the OS, in its memory. So that entire process is called booting. Okay, so when you open a computer, when you press a key from the CPU to open a computer, it takes some time to open because it requires an operating system to be loaded in its memory. So that entire process of loading the OS into the memory of a CPU or a computer is called the booting. Once the process of booting is over, we see a screen with many small pictures on a monitor. These pictures are called icons, and the screen with these icons is called the desktop. Let us know more about these icons on a desktop. Okay, so when a computer gets open, you will see this screen. So this screen is called the desktop, and the small pictures you can see. So the small pictures are called the icons. Okay, first let us learn about all these icons in detail. First icon is computer. So this is a computer icon. A computer folder shows a list of disk drives and the content in a computer. It helps us to find, organize, move and copy files. When you search for the files and folders and modify a computer settings by clicking on a control panel. Okay, so when you will double click on this my computer icon, you will see this window will get opened. It contains various drives. In these drives all the files and folders are stored, and the sub icons also you can see. Okay, so it is called the contents of the computer. So all the contents or the things which is in the computer icon will find there. You can change the settings. It means you can see change the entire look or the interface of the my computers by clicking on a control panel. When we double click on a computer icon, a window opens. This window is divided into two sections. Okay, so when you will double click, this will open. It is divided into two sessions. This is the first session and this is the second session. The first session is hard disk drive. This displays all the partition of the hard disk drives in a computer. One can view the contents of any hard disk partition by double clicking on it. The screenshot shows that a computer has one hard disk drive and one partition for recovery data D. Okay, so this is the first section. It means all the things, all the hard disk drives. By double clicking on anything, you can see the internal details or the internal folders or subfolders of that. So that is the first section, which is called the hard disk drives. The second section is the devices with removable storage like C drive, E drive. If you are attaching your mobile phone, then you will find the name of your mobile phone. If you are attaching any pen drive, then the name of the pen drive. Okay, so the second section is the section for devices with the removable storage. This shows the removable storage devices attached to the computer like floppy disk, pen drive and CD drive, and your mobile phone also. To view their contents, you have to double click on that icon, and the screenshot shows that a removable disk example pen drive is attached to the computer. Okay, so if you are attaching a pen drive to a computer, then the screenshot will show you that your removable disk is pen drive. Next icon is documents. The documents folder displays our documents stored in a computer. It provides a convenient place to store documents, spreadsheets and other files. When we save a file in a program such as WordPad, MS Word and MS Excel, it is automatically saved in the documents. To open this folder, we have to double click on it. Okay, so the documents contains the files. If you are working on the MS Word, on the WordPad, on the MS Excel and you save the file, you are not giving a specified location for your file, then by default, your file will be saved in documents icons. Okay, why? Because by default, the path that is set for your file is documents. So if you are giving a specific path like D drive, E drive or C drive, then your file will be stored there. But by default, in whichever software you are working, that will be stored in documents by default. Next is pictures. The pictures folder displays our graphics and pictures stored in a computer. When we save a file, a graphics program such as Paint, it is automatically saved in picture library. So the documents which are used for making the pictures, the files or the software like MS Paint, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. So these are the photos software which are used to create, modify and edit the photos. So by default, if you are working in MS Paint and you have not specified the path for saving your file, then by default your all the files which are used to create and modify the photos will be saved in this My Pictures. Okay, so this My Pictures is used to store the graphic programs, the pictures. By default it is automatically saved in the pictures library. It contains a folders named sample pictures which contains some sample pictures files. Okay, so this is the My Pictures, that is pictures library. It contains by default some pictures are already stored in it, so that is called the sample pictures file. Next is Recycle Bin. Recycle Bin provides a safety cover to the deleted files and folders. When we delete some files or folders from the hard disk, Windows places them in the recycle bin. Okay, so if you are saved a file, Microsoft Word file, but after or later you do not require that file, you want to delete it and you have deleted it, then by default for the safety it is stored in the recycle bin. So if you have already deleted the file and you want it back, then you can get it from the recycle bin. They remain in the recycle bin till that are permanently deleted by us by clicking on empty the recycle bin. Okay, so up till you do not delete it permanently from the recycle bin, it stays as it is. So you have to go to the recycle bin and you have to click on this option, that is empty the recycle bin. Then only your files will get deleted. Okay students, the files or the folders deleted from the removable storage devices are however not sent to the recycle bin and are deleted permanently. The items in the recycle bin can be restored back to their original location. Okay, so if you do not have deleted the files, you have not emptied your recycle bin and you want something back, then you can get it back by clicking on the restore button to the original location where it was saved. Okay, so this is about the recycle bin. Next is taskbar, the most important part of your screen or your monitor. Taskbar is the bar that contains the start button and appears by default at the bottom left corner of every desktop. Okay, so you can see that a taskbar contains a start button and it is located on the left bottom corner of every desktop. We can switch between various running programs by clicking on the taskbar buttons. Okay, so if you are working on anything, you want to minimize it, you want to maximize this again, you want to work on other applications, that everything is minimized or maximized in the taskbar. The taskbar can be moved to the siders or the top of the desktop and can even be hidden. Okay, so you can move your taskbar to any of the position. By default it is at the bottom corner. If you want to change the position, then you can change it also, and you can also hide the taskbar. To do so, you have to right click on the taskbar. Okay, so to perform operations or options of the taskbar, then you have to right click on the taskbar. Then you can see this pop-up menu will be appeared in front of you. A pop-up menu opens displaying different options. If lock the taskbar option is selected, then tick mark will appear in the front of this option. Okay, so if you are selecting this lock the taskbar, then you can see that this option will tick. If you are selecting cascade windows, then again this will be ticked. Okay, so which options you are selecting, you can see on the left side a tick mark will be displayed to you. Click on the option to unlock the taskbar. So again, if you want to unlock the taskbar, and again you have to tick on or click on this, and again this will go, this tick mark will go and your taskbar will be unlocked. Click on the option as it cannot move until it is unlocked. Place the mouse pointer to the blank area on a taskbar. Click and drag the taskbar to the desired position. If you want to move the taskbar to top, left, bottom, corner, anywhere you want, then you just have to click on the blank area of the taskbar. You have to click and you have to drag your taskbar to the position where you want. Observe the change in the arrangement of the icons with the change in the position of the taskbar. Okay, so you can see that now the taskbar is placed at the right side of the desktop. Here the taskbar is placed at the top of the screen. Okay, so you can see that according to your choice you can move the taskbar, and here the taskbar is at the left side of the taskbar. By default it is at the bottom. This is the left side. You have already seen the right side and the top position also. Okay, so here we have studied about the taskbar. Now let us see how to manipulate the windows or to move the windows. It is possible to move an open window from one place to another on the Windows desktop. To do so, you have to place the mouse pointer on the title bar of the window. Then press the left mouse button and drag the window to its new location. Release the mouse button. Okay, so first you have to press your mouse pointer to the taskbar. This is the taskbar. So you have to move your mouse pointer like this to the taskbar. Then you have to click and you have to drag it to the position you want. Okay, so you can see that after moving, first the windows is here and then the windows move to the right side. Okay, so these are the steps. You can move your window anywhere you want. So this is the original location of the window and this is the new location of the window. It is also possible to increase and decrease the size of the window. There are number of ways which we can do this. First, you have to take the mouse pointer to the edge of the window. The pointer will change to the double-headed arrow. Okay, so first you have to take your mouse pointer to the edge of the window. So this is the edge of the window. Any of the edge you can go, right, left, bottom. Okay, so any of the edge you have to select. After selecting it, you can so after selecting any of the edge, you will see that like this pointer will be there, it will convert it into double-headed arrow and you can press this or this to increase and decrease the size. Then click on the left mouse button and drag the mouse to increase or decrease the size of the window. Release the mouse button after getting the desired size. Okay, so this is, you can increase or decrease the size. This is the original size before resizing and there. Here you can see that the windows is enlarged. Why? Because we have increased the size. To increase the window size on the left side, place the mouse pointer on the left edge. Okay, so if you want to increase the mouse position on the left side, then you have to go to the left edge and you have to increase from here. From the right side, if you want to increase, then you can increase from here. Okay, so these are the options. To increase the windows downside, then place the mouse pointer on the lower edge. Okay, so this is the lower edge. To decrease the window size from the right side, place the mouse pointer on the right edge and drag the mouse to the left until the desired size is achieved. The window size can also be increased or decreased from the corners also. From any of the corners you can increase and decrease the size. This changes the width as well as the height of the window. We can maximize the size of any window by clicking on the maximize button. The window can also be restored to its original size by clicking on the restore control button. Okay, so you will see 3 buttons will be available. First is minimize button. So this is the minimize button. If you are working on MS Word and you want to minimize it, then by clicking on this minimize button, your windows will be minimized to the taskbar. Again, if you want to enlarge it, then this is the maximize button. When you will click on it, again your window will be appeared full screen. For restoring, it means for the medium size, you have to click on this restore down button. Okay, so these are the size. This is for the minimize, this is for the maximize, and this is for the restore. So these are called the control buttons. Okay, so what is the name of these buttons? They are called control buttons. Now let us move to the another topic, that is creating a shortcuts. A shortcut is a link to any item on a computer such as program file, folder, disk drive, web page and printer. It can be created at various places such as desktop, start menu or any other specific folder. A shortcut key or a shortcut icon has a small jump up arrow in a box in the lower left corner. When we double click on that shortcut icon, the program or file opens. Okay, so if you want to create a shortcut for any of the file, by default when you will click on that, the file will get open. You can place that shortcut keys on the desktop so that you can easily find it. So a shortcut key, it means you can see it while opening your PC. So that are called the shortcut icons. You can place your shortcut icons on the desktop also and on the start menu also or any other specific folder. So when you will double click on that shortcut icon, the program or file will open. To create a shortcut to any file on the desktop, you have to follow the given steps. First is step 1. You have to click on the new button. Once you have to right click on the space. Here on the bank's place you can right click your mouse. Then you have to select the new option and from the new option you have to select this shortcut option. Okay. So first you have to right click on the blank area as I have already told. A menu will appear. Then you have to click on the new option and then a sub menu will appear. From there you have to select the shortcut. a create shortcut window will appears in front of you. Okay, so after clicking on the shortcut, you will see that the shortcut window will appear. Type the location. So here you have to browse and you have to search the location where you want to create a shortcut icon. And then finally click on the OK button. Once the location is chosen, click on the next button. Okay, so after selecting the location where you want to save your shortcut file, you have to click on the OK button. After selecting the location, you have to click on the next button. The select a title for the program window will open. So from there you have to select the title. Type the name and then click on the finish. The shortcut is created on the desktop. Okay, so this is a shortcut created. So these are the steps to create the shortcut icon. So after following these 6 steps, you will see that your shortcut icon will be appeared on the desktop screen. Okay, so we can create the shortcut to any program and software in the same manner anywhere on a computer. You can also change the icon of any shortcut. To do so, follow the given steps. Okay, so if you want to change the icon of the software or the shortcut icon, then you can follow the following steps. First, you have to right click on the shortcut to open a menu. So for opening a shortcut icon, you have to right click here. A shortcut icon is displayed, so you have to right click here. Then click on the properties option. Okay, so from there you have to click on the, from here you have to click on the properties option. So a properties window will appear like this. Click on the shortcut tab. So here you can see a shortcut tab is there. So from the third portion or from the second step, you have to click on the shortcut tab and then you have to click on the change icon button. After clicking on the change icon button, you will see that the list of icons will appear. So these are the list of icons. You can select any of the icon you want. Then select the desired icon and after that you can click on the OK button here. Click on the apply button in the properties window and click on OK to change the icon and you will see that here your icon will be changed. Okay, so first the icon was different and now you can see that the icons got changed. So according to your file you can change the icon also. Okay, so now here we have finished how to create and change the shortcut icon. So now let us move forward to the another topic or the another concept, that is changing the date and time. The various steps to change the date and time on the desktop are given below. First, click on the clock on the taskbar. So on the taskbar downside on the right corner, you will find this clock icon will be there. So first you have to click on the clock. On the taskbar, a box showing a calendar and the clock will appear. So this box will open up. Then click on the change date and time settings. You will see here a line is displayed that is change date and time settings. So you have to go there. So after going there, you will see that this windows will be appear. So this date and time dialog box will appear in front of you. Then again you have to click on change date and time button. The date and time settings dialog box will open. To change the date, use the calendar along with month and your selector. Okay, so you will find that this dialog box will appear. So from here you have to change your date and you have to change the month to the and the year selector. To adjust the time, click on the part of the time, hour or minutes. Okay, so this is how you can change the date. You have to select the month, you have to select the year and you have to select the date. After that, to select the time, you have to go here and using an up and down arrow, you can change the time. After changing the date and time, you have to click here on the OK button. To set the time zone, click on the change time zone option. So you can see that a change time zone option will appear here. So if you want to change the time zone, then you have to click here in the date and time dialog box. Then select the time zone from the time zone settings dialog box and then click on the OK button. Finally, click on the OK button in the date and time dialog box and your date and time will be changed. Next topic is working with Windows accessory. Windows includes some programs such as Calculator, WordPad, Notepad and Paint, which are called accessories. Okay, so the files or the softwares like WordPad, Calculator, Notepad, Paint, MS Excel, MS Word, many others are there. So this all the programs are called accessories. So what they are called? Accessories. We can start any accessory program from the start menu by choosing the following options. First, go to the start, then go to all programs and then go to accessories. Okay, so let us see that step. First you have to go to start button, then select all programs and finally select the accessories. So here it is not clear, but in computer when you will do it will be very clear. So find the accessories and click on it. So first accessory is calculator. A calculator is used to do the calculations. Windows has 4 types of calculators. How many types of calculators? A Windows have 4. First is standard calculator, which is used to do simple calculations like plus, minus, multiplication, division, etc. Second is scientific, which is used to perform complex calculations. Then programmer, it is used to perform machine language calculation. Statistics, it is used to perform statistical calculations. Now see, the steps to open a calculator are listed below. First click on the start, go to all programs, go to accessories and then select the calculator. Buttons on the standard calculators are given below. First is backspace to remove the last digit in the box. Then clear entry, you will see that here the entire calculator is visible, just see the figure also. Clear entry to remove the last display in the box. C, clear to clears the display area. The entire area will get clear. Okay, so you can see that entire area will get clear. MC, memory clear, erases a number from the memory. MR, memory recall, again get a number from the memory. MS, memory restore, stores a number in the memory. Last is M plus, that is M add, add the displayed number to the number already there is in the memory of the calculator. The various steps to calculate on a calculator are listed below. First, enter the first number, then click on the function signs like plus, minus, multiplication, division and other. Then enter the next number, enter the remaining operators and numbers, then click on the equal to sign and you will get the result. Okay, next accessory is Notepad. A Notepad is a utility to create text file which are generally required for entering programs in a valid computer languages. So if you want to create a file, if you want to write anything, a paragraph, an essay, then you can use the Notepad to write it. Next is WordPad. WordPad is very similar to Notepad. A WordPad allows us to create anything, to write anything, to read anything and also to modify or edit your simple documents. It is somehow similar to MS Word program but contains very less features as compared to the latter. Okay, so it is similar to MS Word, but MS Word is the latest version of WordPad. It contains more features than WordPad. Okay, so here we are finishing our chapter number 4. Let us move to the keywords. The first keywords is booting. As we have already discussed, loading of operating system in a computer memory is called the booting. Desktop, it means the main screen of the Windows. Shortcut, a link to an item on a computer. Okay, so these are the keywords. You have to write these keywords in your computer notebook. Exercises, first is filling the blanks you have to write in your computer textbook. True, false, you have to write in your computer textbook. Exercise C, that is answer the following questions you have to write in your computer notebook. Exercise D, write the steps to perform the following you have to write in your computer notebook. Exercise E, that is match the following you have to write in your computer textbook. And last exercise F, you have to write in your computer notebook. Okay, so the exercises F, D, C and the keywords you have to write in your computer notebook. Rest all the exercises like A, D and E you have to write in your computer textbook. Okay students, study well. Bye bye. Have a great day ahead.